Time for the timeout once again. Welcome everybody for this special show. My guest once again is historian Stanley Mitchell, and today, as we still celebrate the 50th anniversary of independence here in the Bahamas, we're going to talk about some of the greatest moments in sports history. I joined the Broadcasting Corporation back in 1997, and my greatest moment was in Seville, Spain in 1999, where the ladies 4x100-meter relay team captured gold. And then the following year we went to Australia and they did it again. What a moment of a Bahamian pride. And my co-host, Stanley, you were there for both events as well, but I don't think they stand out as some of your greatest moments in Bahamian history.
The one in Sydney stands out still in my head as one of the greatest, the Golden Girls.
For the way they were able to do it.
And I knew some inside parts of it, what they went through to get there after 96, up and down, and then money becoming involved in, it was a lot of things happening behind the scenes, but to win it, to actually win it, it was like, woof. And that girl named Chandra Stirrup, when she gets the baton on the second leg, it's like, forget it. You see this little piece of hair streaming, and it don't matter who it is, Gail, Divas, Marilyn, or it
was so great about that moment, Stanley. The whole stadium was pulling for the Bahamas. It was like the world against the United States. And when they did beat them, it was like the whole stadium was Bahamians. They were asking for our jersey, if we had anything. And then when we went underneath the tunnel for the interview, I never saw so much sulkiness in the Americans and what they were saying.
In fact, Marion didn't want to come out for the medal presentation. But we did it, and I always say 5 little girls who shouldn't have been there for one reason or the other all came together at that moment in time and did it. And that's a moment in history the Bahamas can't forget.
It's hard to beat me because I just have this instinct inside me. I just want to be the best, and I wouldn't settle for any less.
Our friend Frank Rutherford might be saying he has the greatest moment in history with this bronze medal in Barcelona.
Actually, if you look at track and field and all of it, everybody has, the Africans have their races that they win, right? The US have different races, but when you get to the 100 meters and relays, the
glamour events.
The glamour events put a shadow somehow on his first medal in track and field for the Bahamas, in an independent Bahamas, like he likes to say, actually is a great moment. Actually is one of the top moments, but it's hidden under so many things, that, and then the boys went ahead in 2012 and did it again. So it suppresses it a little bit, but to come away with a medal from the Olympics that everybody was trying to do, even the great Tommy Robinson, and you do it, and people act like, just throw it on the side, can hurt a person inside. Go ahead.
So do you know a man in the NBA named Klay Thompson? My daughter and everybody knows him, but they didn't know how he got to the NBA.
I know.
I think this is another special moment in Bahamian history. His father, Michael Thompson, the first international player to be drafted.
You know what he was? For a non-American. If he was just an American and got drafted first round pick, you were a big deal.
And then he went on to win the championships. And then when he came home, you talk about that big float parade. I was there for that. It's like the whole entire Bahamas from the islands even came.
And then downtown, when they had the big stage and Sir Lyndon was there and they made this thing, I don't know what it was out of, with him, a replica of him with a basketball, and then he went into the crowds. They had to have barriers like he was a prime minister, where people were trying to prop him or touch him. Another great moment. what can we say? Ain't many countries. In fact, I think it's only 2 or 3 that could say they had a first round draft pick in the NBA, and we got 2 with Aiden. So we keep, like they said, we punch above our weight, but we punch hard. Michael Sweet Bells. And to think his father didn't want him to go.
To play basketball.
Just like he didn't want Colin, his older brother, to play baseball on Sundays. And Colin had to sneak
and
out.
Michael has produced some great sons. We have Clay.
Trace
In the major leagues.
Yeah.
Michael Jr. also had a little stint here.
And he
there.
played for us.
Yeah, so he his pedigree. That's all wanted. Coconut wanted.
In fact, he was the first one to go and apply for citizenship in the Bahamas when he came here with his father one time. Great family, great accomplishments, can't take anything from them. And they keep on going. Clay, I hope we'll have another one and we'll just keep on rolling.
We'll share another great moment in Bahamian history in this first segment of the time.
Pauline Davis Thompson is, in my opinion, the most decorated athlete in the Bahamas. She is one of the only 3 track and field athletes who has won a medal in the top 4, being the Olympics, Worlds, Commonwealth, and Pan Am. It's only her, Debbie, and Levan Sands who have done that. It's a tremendous feat. It's almost like being...
Let me cut me. Let me be a little advocate. And we've noticed that with the Jamaican and athletes in the Caribbean of that stature, they have been knighted. Pauline has yet to be
a dame.
Why do we treat our athletes?
Because it's where you come from, some of your little color and your situation. She should have been a damn long time. You know how many cricketers in the West Indies are knights?
I think that calls for a break right here as we continue the show with some of the greatest moments in Bahamian history. Think about it, Stanley. When we come back, locally we've had some great moments as well.
Health officials announced early on that the curve of the country.
And cue.
A fire had erupted at night.
All of the victims have lost their lives.
Welcome back here on the TimeOut with my special guest, Stanley Mitchell. And Stanley, I know you hear about this all the time. Why does track and field get all the accomplishment, and there are other sports out there like swimming, basketball, and even softball with so many accolades? We have had teams placed in softball in both men and ladies. Some of the biggest accomplishment I'm looking right here with our team members. They were ranked number 3 in the world.
Washington.
In 1980, and then in 81, the ladies came back and ranked in the world.
They seem to be considered shots in the pan, a one-time thing. Great, but no continuity, no continuation. If they had done it again, or even come higher, they would be right up there. Plus, it's a team sport, and it's very difficult to put 18 people together to, continue to do that. You get a picture like Richard the Lionheart Johnson. He comes around once in a lifetime. Even Ed Nita, he can't do what he did. And the team that was there at the time, they all major leaguers.
Let me name some of them. The coach was Leon Apache, Bobby Baylor Fernanda, Godfrey Gully Pender, players Mark Sweet and Sonny Haven, Douglas Smith, Jimmy Lee, Colin Russell, Richard the Lionheart Johnson, Anthony Hyler, Roy Rogers, Adlai Moss, Keith Butler, Fred Papa Smith, Roosevelt Dog Turner, John Roll, Jason Peggs Moxie, Denzel the Lefty Clark, Pansy Cat Johnson, Eddie McSweeney, and Reggie the Juicer Nose. For the ladies, We had Bobby there again as well, and he's still coaching the ladies. Godfrey Pender, Alfred Ali Culmer, who never seems to be getting any older. Charlie Mortimer up and Daisy Walker. Linda Ford, who I think can still go up there and pitch in the league in this day. Naomi Ellis, Candace DeGregory, Denise Reckley, Aurea Wood, Cipriana McKinney, Cynthia Mother Pratt, the Governor General, also Audrey Sayers, Kay Moxie, John Poitier, remember her, Nancy Russell, Cheryl Bain, Ernestine the Big Horse Butler, Cheryl Turnquest, and Carolyn Turnquest. All those names should be up on the Wall of Fame.
You've been to Freeport in the last couple of years?
Yes.
You see the thing that they have with the Golden Boys
right
up on the highway?
Right on before you reach the stadium.
Yeah, they can do that for that, but we've been having that all along, and we don't have any. We're not motivating a nation of children like Jamaica to keep on coming and keep on pushing to be better than the ones that are
but
there
should those
before.
games from 80 and 81 be overshadowed? Because if we do not bring it up, nobody knows that we ever even had those teams that were ranked in the world in fast-pitch softball.
When you say we, who do you
General
mean?
public, no, outside of the
The
sports realm.
Ministry of Youth Sports and...
Outside of the sports realm.
Yeah, but we have to do it. We have to call for it. Leaders of the discipline have to call for it and fight for it. I've been in many, well, I shouldn't say many, a couple of Hall of Fame, what you call, not elections, where they're deciding, and the names of the people they send in, you would fall out your chair laughing with the foolishness that goes on. They put me out of one because I was looking down the list and I saw a name sent in
Because this is my friend and
from
your friend.
cycling, and Mike Sands looked at me and said, "What you grumbling about over there?" I said, "You see this name?" I said, "That's my brother's best friend. He never do nothing in cycling but give a bicycle at the end of a bicycle meeting thing, because he owned a store. And they putting him up to go in the Hall of Fame. See, you know how special a Hall of Fame is?
but
It's your
since-
best of your best.
But since then, I think that the level of softball, I call it the level of softball has really gone down a bit because, like I said, we don't have no Richard. We had at least 5 to 6 pitches we could have gone
You
through.
heard the names that they had to wait while Richard pitched 19 innings. Josie Wales, Ozzie the Wizard, all them. They were there on that team. That's how
But then
good
we
that
did
team
take-
was.
we
You
did
list the catcher pan and you list Dougie and all that. They had 2 teams there that could have gone. Papa Smith hit the final double or triple to bring in the run that we won the 3rd place on. They talk about Papa about basketball. They don't know how versatile this guy was. But I'm gonna get in trouble for it. Men should not play softball. They can play it as kids or older men because there's no future in it. And women play softball, and we should be teaching them how. Pitching is 90% of the game, 85%. We don't have pitchers no more on either side. So we can't go, we can't win, we can't play. Oh Lord, this little country that does so well could do so much more.
We're here at the Thomas and Robinson Stadium speaking sports. We knocked down the Churchill Tenor National Stadium. Never built it back. Never ever built it back.
Where
So
am
how
I?
are
Playing
we
it
going to make
softball
softball
big
any
again?
better?
And we got some little thing down in the back. I don't even know where I am. In the back there, look like one old breakdown chicken coop be playing softball, and if you get more than 30 people, you're full. So come on, man, they ain't serious. They don't care about us. And I mean that on both sides, because, you know, I ain't bound to...
Oh, with Starley, before Starley goes any further, we're going to take a big time out. That's the whistle. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
Dwayne is on the TV, so turn the TV on.
Join us for the most electrifying late night show in town. The brightest and most talented Bahamians will keep you glued to your TV screens.
You better talk to your executive director. You see Rico over there giving you the evil eye right now.
Well, I say Shepherd Morn. Good to be here with you, my boy. Good to see you, man. I'm excited for you.
Pour yourself a glass of bubbly because the fun has just begun.
Time is running out here on the timeout. Welcome back, everybody. 3 topics we are discussing today. Some of the greatest sports moments in Bahamian history, and some of the sports that should be getting some props, but they are not. And also we're going to talk about, let's hit this one, Commonwealth American football here in the Bahamas, with so many talented youngsters that can make it at that level. And then there's no league even here no more. They used to play here at the stadium. They used to play at Windsor Park. One time they went to the fort. I keep asking, when will the league come back? Nobody has an answer. Looks like everybody is now gone into that flag football. That has taken over the world because the NFL now is here with flag football, and they're going to play leagues here. What is happening with American football? Because sometimes I used to see you out there on Windsor Park with the pros and the bombers and the sunburners.
You're talking about Commonwealth. I came before that with the league before that came back. My best friend at the time started the Nassau Jets, McNair Brown, who had people like Dick Brown, Bar Davis, Gregory Allens, a whole lot of Big Five, Albury, talented players, and won for about 5 or 6 years straight. And then another friend, Cornell Mortimer, took it over when Commonwealth League came in. American football is like soccer. You have to play it from a certain age for it to be in you. If you start too late, you're just playing it, but you're never gonna get really good at it. We had some spots, some good players. My favorite player was Jesse Butkus Ferguson, the best quarterback I've ever seen. Mike Foster, can I whisper? It's a joke to Jesse Ferguson, but he tried.
Do you think it's going to come back in the Bahamas?
I don't think it should be here.
No?
No. Ed Smith,
expensive, insurance,
and plus,
you can't get it in the high schools.
If you see the people who got into it afterwards, his son and Darlin, they went over there. They played over there. It was in them. Ed got drafted from here. He was a little bit small for it, but his agility and speed and everything got him through. Alan Ingram just almost made it. Was the same problem. Ed went to school in college, so you know he had it. But I don't see us. You know, it's hard to organize. It's hard to keep together. It takes so many parts, moving pieces to keep it going. All the best. I hate flag football. I think that's for girls.
So let's speak about moving pieces. The great Mark Knowles.
He really is a smashing guy, and 700 is I mean, that's a remarkable figure.
Roger Smith, when they were in their heydays, Davis Cup round 1 and US
I
Open,
went to see them play in Charlotte, North Carolina, and those two guys together were a team. It's a pity that these tennis people eventually ran Roger out of our tennis system, and now he's coaching other children. But Mark is great. Mark deserves everything he could, and he played with anybody.
He was good with the media. If he comes in and you say, "Hey, Marky, oh, I gotta catch some crawfish today. I'm going out on the boat today. You want to go?"
Yeah,
you know?
And he did it with women and with men. That showed his, his ability.
And he's part of the 2023 National Sports Hall of Fame, which is good. So this is good. Congratulations. I think it's long over.
Well, there's a time period from when you stop your sport before you can get into the Hall of Fame, which is his time now.
He's in the ITF Hall of Fame. International Tennis Federation, the highest level. He's in that Hall of Fame for doubles, along with Daniel Nestor.
We have a tendency to think, just like you can gamble in the casino, that after you finish, you might be seen falling down as a drunk or something, but you done in the Hall of Fame. And I keep saying they get in the Hall of Fame for the accomplishment. You can wait a period, but you know, there's no one ahead of him that should go in. So, but to each his own. But Mark knows, and I watched them play a Davis Cup in Charlotte, North Carolina. Algernon and Allen was the minister at the time. He was up there, Charles Carter, all of us. When we took a Junkanoo group up, well, they took a Junkanoo group up there, and it was tremendous.
So Stanley, you've been around for quite some time. How have you seen sports evolve from when you started following it, and is there a future for sports in the Bahamas as we get set to wrap up this show?
There is a future for sports in the Bahamas. Most of the achievements, I say, come from parenting, being interested in the child.
Not coaching?
Coaching is now a business, and coaching is you can bring a child to the money, but you don't get the best that way. In Jamaica, boys and girls champs and alumni who send funds, goods, team, uniform, sprints back to their school keeps it in track and field going forever. But the best kid in the 400 meters is packing the shelves in a food store somewhere because he got to go home afterwards to help his family. We'll see a spot of him if he comes to one of their high school meets, and then you say, well, where the boy gone? He was so good out here, and that's it. Unless we start putting the lottery or something together for sports and fund everybody.
So we've done 50 years as an independent country, 50 next years. Do you see us having more world champions in track and field? And in the other sport, is softball going to come back? We're going to make a move in some of the new sports like the Bahamas Olympic Committee is doing in terms of wrestling, sailing, golf, equestrian. Where do you see the future of it?
I see the same bobsled type of thing happening. They just buck up. You get a Shawnee, you get a Stevie, you get a Jazz after being expertly coached at Freedom Farm or the other group. But no big deal. Unless something is put behind it, no big deal.
And will the boys make the 2024 Olympics, basketball?
My prediction, no.
Really hard in here. From Stanley, they have to go to the pre-qualifier. Most parents believe that they have already made the Olympics. No, they still have to go to the pre-qualifiers and then make the Olympic Games. And hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they can make it and be the first team sports to ever represent the Bahamas at that level. Let's be in another edition of the Timeout, and my special guest for our first two shows has been Stanley Mitchell. Stanley, thank you so much. I remember you in Seville in 1999. You made me sleep on the floor. You were Cartwright snoring all night. I said I would never allow them to overtake me. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, being my best friend for quite some time. Thank you so much, and all the production crew working behind the scenes. Time out!